Hi, Vera and Christina here, Soul's Enlightenment. And today, Vera and I wanted to talk about a person, well actually two people in the public eye that we got a request to see if Vera could pick up some past life information on this couple that is no longer a couple anymore. And Vera, do you want to tell them who it is?
Tom Cruise and
Katie Holmes. So, we have a viewer, like I said, and they wanted to know. Vera, can you tell us about, is there a past life lesson between Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes?
There is not.
Oh, there's not?
They have not had a past life together.
Really?
Yep. I kept trying to trying to pick up they have not had one together. This is their first time together.
Really?
They've had past lives.
Right,
but
right.
not together.
I'm kind of surprised in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, so they haven't had a past life. So, Vera, can you tell us what was the lesson, or what was the dynamics, or what was happening between them, that, or any information that you pick up on that you feel comes forward in this situation? Because all of us, there's so many relationship questions that we get all the time, and we can learn from each other's relationship situations.
Right.
So.
And what I picked up for Katie is that her lesson in this lifetime is to have to do things for herself. If it be acting, find her own jobs, work it that way. She was trying to make a shortcut with Tom Cruise because he's such a big name, that she would be able to get into more movies that way, but the compromise backfired in her face. Big time because of the control, that he had, that Scientology had, and all that. So,
and that's one of the things that I was, the first thing I think of when I think of that couple is a controlling situation. And I guess I resonate to it being that because I was in a very controlling relationship with someone that I was engaged to be married to. And it didn't start out that way.
Right.
But over time, a little by little, my who I was as a person, it was like he didn't like that. He wanted to pull those things away from me. And it was a very conscious effort. Like, I couldn't have my beliefs. He didn't.
But that's how they do it. They slowly take.
Yeah, and our family, like, they'll isolate us. And then my goals and dreams were put way on the back burner so he could follow his goals and dreams, and I just had to get a waitress job,
to pay the bills,
to help him on his, So it was like, it's so interesting because I'll never forget this, Vera. I saw this picture of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, and they were on stage at a Scientology event, and I have to say, he was beaming. He was so happy, and she looked stunningly gorgeous, but tragically alone and sad.
Her eyes were so
You saw that
sad.
image too?
Yeah.
She looked so
miserable
sad and so alone. And I wanted to say, when I was with my fiance, it was like I couldn't be me so much to the point where I felt so alone.
Yeah.
And, the thing about it too is that I think that we can almost lose ourselves.
Well, you can, definitely.
And I think what happens is we're afraid to lose, like maybe in that situation for her, it was like her career.
Yeah.
Or for me, maybe it was I was afraid to lose that person. Like a lot of us might be afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
And we don't want to lose that person, but it's better if we could have the courage and the strength to lose that person or give up that career goal than to lose ourselves.
Yeah. Because I could say that probably the biggest, and I don't want to say mistake because children are not mistakes, right? But the biggest mistake maybe for Tom Cruise or maybe even Katie at the time was to have a child, because there was her strength. She didn't have it for herself, but she had it for her daughter.
Oh, I got the chills when you say that. I get the chills every time you say something with that truth,
Yeah. Because she fought for her daughter.
She didn't want that to happen to her little girl, because that's what it was. That she had the strength ultimately to do it to where he didn't know she was going out of state to visit her parents.
Exactly.
I mean, but really, she was so isolated. I mean, anybody that knows the story, but she did it smart, and she had the strength to protect herself and her child.
Yeah. And Pee-wee agrees.
Yeah, her kitty. But yeah, that's, one of the things that if we can have the courage to do what we need to do for us, and it's difficult, especially when, like, being in the public eye like that and being afraid of people's judgments, or even like his family, how we're thinking, what are they going to think of me?
Exactly.
I feel like I'm a bad person. But you know what? To have that strength to be able to make those choices.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you too, Vera, is I created the throne angel, and what's really neat about the angels is that they inspire us to have their virtues that they possess,
right? Their
attributes. And when I was creating that throne angel, she's so focused on, like, I'm gonna show them really quick. Should I?
Yeah.
If you could see, she is so focused on where she's going. I was creating this at a time in my life where I had to really keep my eye on the goal that was right for me, and not let negativity bother me. That was going on over here. Like I was saying,
Here,
people's judgments.
Picture.
Yeah.
And I'll hold it for you.
And the thing of it too is she has armor on.
Exactly.
And that's a tool
Look
for
at those
protection.
eyes. Oh my God, that's what I love about your art, is those eyes just captivate you.
Well, and she's wearing armor.
Right.
And that's a tool for protection. So that if you are going through a period in your life right now that you have to focus on what's right for you,
exactly. Your face is, her hand is right in the face.
Sorry, yeah. Use that tool for protection of imagining yourself mentally with armor on, so that negativity of, like, people's judgments, or the fear of losing our career or our relationship or whatever it is, that it won't penetrate your armor.
Yeah.
So you can use that as a visualization and a tool for protection in your mind right now. You can take that today and use that as a tool for protection.
A physical affirmation and a reminder.
Yeah. So
that you're not alone. If people would realize how many people are on the other side that are helping you.
Yeah, because it's scary.
I know it's not a physical, having somebody there physically, but oh my God, the strength and the love that they emanate, if you would allow that to come in.
Yeah, if
and
you're going through those really hard times.
Yeah.
And it helps to have that strength.
Yeah, because that's one of the things with past, doing past life regressions and that kind of thing, is all these people having all this love from the other side, and all this protection from the other side, and not just from their current loved ones that have passed on, but from past lives of mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, whatever, the love that they still have for you.
Yeah.
And that comes in, it can penetrate you if you allow it to. If you're just not, like, so down because you don't have anyone around you. And I understand that, because people, we want to have a connection, right?
Yeah.
But at what expense? Like
exactly,
Katie,
exactly. And
don't compromise.
Exactly. Don't compromise yourself away.
Yeah.
Or your dreams and your life.
Yeah.
And, So thank you for joining us today, and we're looking forward to seeing you next Saturday.
Yay.
Spiritual Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
See ya.
Bye.